Yes! Okay, this is the stuff I have been waiting to share with you guys. I cannot wait. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be continuing my adventures at Animematsuri 2023. In this one, we'll be picking up the morning after where the last one left off. So this one, we're starting out on Friday, August 11th, 2023, and we will be heading down to the Godzilla store and checking it out as it opens. Alright, so if you haven't seen the other vlogs, go check those out, but to recap really fast, we got trapped at the airport for a really long time. It was a really wild experience, and then we went and enjoyed the nighttime festival at Animematsuri and got to see them kind of set up the Godzilla store, but by the time we got out of the airport, it was already pretty much set up. The thing we were most looking forward to was them opening the crate and unboxing the Godzilla statue, because we had no idea what was actually inside, and we were hoping it was maybe like a Godzilla suit or a -1 statue, but we weren't sure, so we wanted to kind of get down there early to find out what it was, and they had to wait for certain type of equipment to get there for them to actually open the crate up. So that morning we all woke up really nice and early, and I admired the cloudy view outside, as well as Shinji Nishikawa's amazing Godzilla banner that was hung on the side of the GRBC. Apparently I was a super tired boy, as I am every single day of my entire life. I live in a permanent state of exhaustion. But apparently I really was having a hard time waking up that morning, which I don't remember, and then we all headed down into the hotel to get breakfast.
Derek didn't want to wake up this morning.
I did want to wake up. I'm just super tired.
You're gonna be the focus of this.
Getting a brekkie, and then we're heading to the G store for some B-roll of them setting it up.
Be open on the cinematic shot of Dalton's orange juice. Oh.
Is that like a Chad song or something? What is that one? Hey, what's that song that said...
After we ate, we returned to our hotel room to grab some gear and then headed down to the convention hall before it opened to see some very eager fans already hanging out waiting before the opening ceremonies even happened. We headed into the hall and checked out the Godzilla store. As they were sort of finishing setting it up, they actually didn't have the equipment to open the crate yet, so that anticipation was still growing. As they were finishing up the Godzilla store, all the other vendors were also finishing up their areas as well. It was pretty awesome to be able to see the convention coming together before your very eyes. I then got a bunch of B-roll of the Godzilla store and watched as they completed the beautiful Prime 1 Studios Mechagodzilla 2021. This thing's incredible. Just enjoy this little montage of how beautiful this thing was. Wonderful details. I love that thing.
So, actually, if you look in the back of his neck at that little red circle,
Yep.
it's actually inaccurately sculpted. It should be painted silver with little red rings going around it. That's where his proton scream comes from. That's his red laser.
Then the Godzilla store workers arrived, and I just want to shout out the Godzilla store crew this year. It was a fantastic crew. From what I saw, this was the hardest working and most enthusiastic crew I have seen at the Godzilla store to date. In addition to the awesome manager Paul, who continued to be absolutely legendary this whole day and was helping me out a ton, just super nice guy. I also want to shout out Carol, who in my brain is named Caroline, but Carol, who worked at the Godzilla store. She worked up front, and she was great, as well as Rose. Rose worked the register, and she was awesome. awesome. Just big thank you to both of them for being so nice. So it turns out the Godzilla Store staff needed some help checking out their new system. They were setting up a new system to be able to do purchases through, and they needed some help setting that up. So they asked if I wanted to be the first customer at America's third official Godzilla store. Of course I did. So like I said, I got to be the first customer at America's third official Godzilla store as we figured out how that system worked. So it was time to make some picks and find out what I was gonna get. We're starting cheap because I'm poor. I'm gonna get the Yamazaki Godzilla. That's actually this one. This is Godzilla from the new animated gemstone short film. But I'm gonna start with those, and then I'm gonna get the Godzilla Store shirt, and then I'm gonna see what Super Pass buys, and if they leave certain items, then I might grab another one.
You're going to do it one. Anybody working at that one register?
Is that good?
I got it.
Do you think that'll go viral?
No.
You.
Hey, do something.
The Khaled. The DJ Khaled.
You got the shirt. Yeah, you could actually wear the shirt.
I'm not so sure where she is. I don't.
As I said in that footage, I was trying to be a little cautious of my budget here, so I wasn't going overboard. I just wanted to get some stuff so that they could figure out the system. And as you saw, the first guy I walked away with was this bad boy, Godzilla the Ride Bandai Movie Monster Series. Hey, you want to see me review this guy? Well, go check out my review linked down below. I already did. I did a review of this guy. The next guy I got was this guy, the Bandai Movie Monster Series Gemstone Godzilla. Oh my god, I love this design so much. I just think it's so epic. Hey, you want to see me review this guy? Well, I did. I'll just say the exact same thing again. I did review this guy. I have reviews for both of these figures on the channel right now. Go check them out. Final thing I got in my first batch was the wonderful Animematsuri Godzilla collaboration shirt featuring that amazing artwork from Shinji Nishikawa. Yes, man, it's so good. Yes, look at it. Look at it. That's so cool, man. Yeah, I've literally never taken it out just so I could film this clip. So right after I was doing that, and when I was filming more B-roll of the store, I sent Kyle and Dalton out to film the growing crowd as they were starting to amass for the opening ceremony, and they actually found out where the opening ceremony was going to be held. It was actually held inside the convention hall itself, just in a closed-off area where they would also hold concerts at night. So that's where it was being done, and it was an enormous production. This is actually the biggest budget year I've ever been to Matsuri. It was awesome. After that, me and the boys met back up, and we all went to explore the convention hall just before it opened up for Super Pass fans, meaning it's time for another Godzilla hunt. There were so many awesome booths at Matsuri this year. My favorite little vendor booth was actually this one. I just thought the layout was really nice. I thought it looked really pretty. I thought it was great. They also had a lot of super cool stuff in it. Now was the time. Super Pass opened up, so Dalton and I watched as the first crowd of people rushed into the Godzilla store to make their purchases. Kyle headed out to film the opening ceremony at the exact same time. It was during this that they finally unboxed and set up Godzilla. This was actually the same Godzilla statue they brought in 2021, but I loved that it just took a spot front and center in the middle of the store so all the fans could enjoy it together. That was so cool. I loved that layout. The 2023 store's layout has been my favorite layout for the Godzilla store so far. I just thought it was awesome. It was a wonderful place to build a community in. Also, shout out to Dalton for filming the unboxing while I was busy filming a bunch of the fans enjoying the store. And the Godzilla store really is a wonderful place for Godzilla fans to come together and enjoy their love of the franchise together. It's been something that I feel like I haven't really quite understood until after the fact every single time I go to Matsuri, but what makes the Godzilla store special isn't exactly the merchandise. That's awesome too, don't get me wrong. You're not gonna hear me complaining walking away with this stuff. This stuff's awesome. I love the figures, and there's even cooler figures there that I didn't get. But it is the experience of being there together that I think is so cool, and that's what I wanted to emphasize this year, and so I did my best to film people enjoying the Godzilla store. So please, enjoy this little montage of America's third official Godzilla store's first wave of customers.
They could be, I mean, really.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She said she's parked right there.
We usually have displays for any last year's ones, and there's only like one.
That one side coming. 10,000.
I like that one. That's my favorite one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You know how to shop in here? So, what do you want? This one?
17.
So depending on what you get, we'll have to let you know what the last year.
Some of the figures, there's only one.
It just says
It's on our
I was
on
there
our
for
sale.
I need to look at the schedule before we get it.
So this is 1100. I'll go grab it.
Oh yeah, I watched this myself.
I watched that one come in and then click on there right around.
That green one coming in. Oh, we got something where to be tonight. US premiere tonight. That's it.
My favorite part of this was actually seeing a bunch of different generations of fans come together. You have kids coming in, you have a bunch of people my age and around my age coming in, and then you also have a lot of people who are a lot older, people who probably grew up with Godzilla long before I even knew what Godzilla was or was even born. I just think that's so awesome. I love that stuff. I love the idea of this community coming together, and it was just such a cool way to do it and to see it all come together. I don't know, man. I thought it was great. It was also here where I met a bunch of wonderful people. I met a lot of people who knew who I was, and that's always very exciting and nerve-wracking and awesome, and thank you to anybody who says hi to me. I really appreciate it. That does mean a lot to me, and it sticks with me. I met Gavin before they opened up. He was nice, and then I met John. I actually took a picture with him and Godzilla. Tony hung out with me quite a bit, and we actually got to chat all about a bunch of the recent Godzilla projects. I also met Giovanni, who showed me his hand puppet that he made while he was in line. That thing was awesome.
My name is Giovanni, and this here is a little dinosaur I've made. I believe it's Morus Intrepidus. I'm not too sure. I just saw it from the last Jurassic Park film. Thought it was really cool. Wanted to make it. Made out of faux fur. Sprayed it with some paint, and this is rubber right here with some acrylic with the resin underneath, and it has a posable wire in there so you can move it around.
Wow, that's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Thank you, man.
I also met James, who I had met back in 2021. He actually worked at the Godzilla Store at animematsuri in 2021, and he is such an OG. His fandom goes all the way back, and he and I got to hang out a ton at this convention, and I got to know him quite well. He had a lot of insights on Godzilla. He's just got a really deep, rich fandom for Godzilla, and it was really cool. And then finally, as everything was getting ready to fully open up, Kaylee, Hottle, and her family showed up and stopped by the Godzilla Store for this very short little visit on day one. They arrived for a very brief cameo, checked out the store, and then headed back to their booth, which was actually along the back wall, so it was a little further away from the Godzilla Store than usual this time. This was unfortunately the only moment I actually got to see Joe or Ko that I hung out with so freaking much back in 2021 at this convention. I saw Joe a little bit later on one of the other days, but I didn't want to be intrusive, and they're older now. They don't need somebody to kind of look after them. And I also haven't kept in touch with Kaylee or her family. I haven't kept in touch with any of them, and so I didn't know if they even really remembered me or if it would be appropriate to show back up and be like, hey, can I hang out with that kid again? As much as I love Joe and would have loved to hang out with him and Ko and Lynn and Kaylee and all of them, I haven't kept in touch with them. And I don't know Ketsi as well as I did back in 2021, so I didn't intrude. I stayed back, and that was the only little moment I got to see him, which was kind of a bummer because they were so much fun to hang out with in 2021. I did see Kaylee quite a few more times and I actually hosted a panel with her, so you can still look forward to seeing her in these videos, but it was the other guys that I didn't get to hang out with as much. And that's actually where I'm gonna end it for this one. We're gonna end it right as the convention is opening up. That way you can look forward to the next one, and that way this doesn't become way too long because wow, there was so much going on this day. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to Anime Matsuri for bringing me out and making this possible. By the way, Anime Matsuri 2024 is right around the corner, this August 8th through 11th, and I will be there along with Godzilla, the king of the monsters himself. So come say hi, come over, say hi, celebrate Godzilla with us, and then you can be a part of this experience as well. It's so much fun, man. Thank you guys all for watching. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons that I'm able to make videos like this for you in the first place, and I really appreciate all the support I get over there. If you want to check out the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.